Hey guys, and welcome back for another HIIT yoga class. Today you're not going to need anything at all, just some space on the floor, a mat if you have one, and whenever you're ready, come and join me in Tadasana and we'll begin. Okay, so we're just going to start with a quick warm up. So if you come to the center of your mats, find yourself in Tadasana in your standing position. Think about connecting through the feet as always, lift through the toes, feel the ground, roll those shoulders back and down, lengthen through the crown of the head, tuck the tailbone under, suck the navel in. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale, release the shoulders from the ears, and then inhale as you lift and reach all the way up above your head. We're going to exhale as we drop one arm to the left and reach all the way over with the right. Inhale back to center, switching over the arms. Exhale to reach over to the opposite side. We're just going to do 5 arm rotate or lateral rotations from side to side. Really finding that stretch, waking the body up, opening the body up. One more each side. And then come back to center. Inhale as you lift the arms all the way up, circle them backwards. We're just going to do 5 arm circles backwards. And then 5 arm circles forwards. Once you've done 5 of those, take the arms out wide. We're just going to wrap the arms around the body as we twist to look behind us. 5 to 6 rotations each side. Just let the arms fall wherever they need to fall. Last one each side, and then come back to center. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. Exhale as you hinge at the hips, bend the knees, and come down into your Uttanasana forward fold. We'll take the ragdoll variation. So think about bending the knees, drawing the chest over the thighs, crown of the head towards the floor, opposite hand to opposite elbow. And just rock from side to side. Take a couple of deep breaths and then take the hands all the way to the floor. Walk the feet back. Pedal out the legs, finding your down-facing dog position. Pedal out the legs. Opening up the calves, the hips, the hamstrings. And then maybe just take a few pulses through the shoulders as well. And then from here, we're going to take right foot outside of right hand, finding our lizard lunge position. Option to keep the knee lifted or drop it to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale as you tap the elbow to the floor. Try and keep those toes all glued down as you do this. We're going to do 3 elbow taps on the right. Replace the hand, step back to down facing dog, and then step the left foot outside of the left hand. Option to keep that knee lifted or knee to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale, elbow to the floor. 3 taps on the left side. Replace the hand, step back to down facing dog, walk the hands all the way to the back of the mat, find your Uttanasana forward fold, heel toe your feet out to the edges of the mat, find your squat stance. Inhale as you lift all the way up, extended Tadasana, palms together at the top. Exhale as you come down into that garland pose. From here, just take a few pounces up and down, get into those hips. And then when you're ready, left hand to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist with the right towards the ceiling. Exhale, release. Right hand to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist to the left towards the ceiling. Exhale, release. Heel toe the feet back underneath the hips. Walk the hands all the way to the front of the mat. Find your plank position. And we'll take a vinyasa. Option to drop the knees if you need to. Exhale, low plank or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, press up to cobra. Take a moment there to just open up the front body. And then when you're ready, exhale, tuck the toes and press back to down facing dog. Walk the feet all the way in towards the hands, coming into your Uttanasana forward fold again. Again, option to take that ragdoll position as you stretch the belly over the thighs, crown of the head towards the floor, opposite hand to opposite elbow. And then when you're ready, inhale to come all the way up, extended Tadasana. And we'll just take 5 simple chair poses. So squatting down, they're kind of half squats. Last one. And then exhale, release. Okay, so we're going to start in a prone position on the floor. I'm going to set the timer So you guys will hear the beeper count you in. It will count you in and tell you when you're halfway as well. And it will time the rounds for us as well. So I'll demonstrate the first round first, or the first movement first, and then we'll begin. So the first movement, we're going to come down onto our stomachs, and we're going to find a prone position, arms stretched out in front of us, forehead to the floor. From here, you're going to lift the hands off the floor, just a couple of inches, and then bring them all the way out to the side. Rotate the palms upwards and bring them all the way back. Try not to drop the hands. Bring them all the way back round the way you came down and all the way to the top. So we're doing prone snow angels. So think about squeezing that center back area, activating the arms, keeping those arms lifted at all times. I'm going to start the timer now. So you've got a 10-second count in. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So set yourself up in that prone position, arms stretched out in front, palms facing down, lift the hands off the floor. Bring them all the way out to the side, find that T-shape, palms up, bring them back behind you, tap the lower back, and then come all the way back round the way you came to begin with. So this is really working into the shoulders.
Halfway there.
You should feel that your scapula is having to engage to steady and balance the arms. It's working into your shoulder range of motion as well. You're over halfway, you've got 10 seconds left on the clock. Really good, girls. Nice work.
Rest.
The next movement we are going to do is a body flow. So you're going to pop back up to down facing dog, find that upside down V, and then you're just simply going to inhale as you roll forwards, drop the hips and look up to cobra, and then exhale as you push back to down facing dog. You're just simply going to move from one to the other. So set yourself up, you've got 3 seconds to go. Find that down facing dog, inhale as you roll forwards, drop the hips, look up, find cobra, exhale as you press back to down facing dog. Maybe take a moment there to find the position and feel it in each pose. So squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs, point the toes, support that lower back, and then tuck the toes, press back, find length in the spine, press those heels towards the floor. You're over halfway. I forgot to say to you guys, this is your mobilization round. For those of you that haven't done this before, there are 3 different rounds: mobilization, strength, and cardio. You have less than 10 seconds on the clock, so see if you can do one more for me. And relax. Yes. Next one, come back to extended child's pose on your mat. Take your hands just slightly wider, roughly where your shoulders will be. And we're going to scoop the chest through, finding that thoracic bend in the spine, and then come all the way up to cobra, and then press back to extended child's. So really focus on trying to keep that chest low, finding that bend in the spine as you move through the transitions. So set yourself up, extended child's pose, scoop. As you inhale, go all the way through, press up, and then exhale, sit back in child's pose. Try and find that bend in the upper back and the thoracic spine and the cervical spine. Try and keep the bend in the lower back to a minimum. Beautiful. Really good. You're over halfway. And this is your halfway movement as well of this round. You have just coming up to 10 seconds left on the clock. So see if you can get maybe 2 more in. Really good quality movements, working into that spinal bend.
Rest.
The next movement is down facing dog to bridge pose. So option 1, you could come back to that bear progression that we did before with the knees just hovered off the floor, twisting up, finding that bridge. Option 2, finding that down facing dog, lifting the leg a little bit higher, up and over, and then thrusting the hips with flat feet to the floor, find that bridge. Option 3, take the leg all the way over and find wild thing. So wherever you need to be, you're just rotating from one side to the other. Keep moving through those movements, keep feeling each end of the pose, so really squeeze those glutes, lift those hips. Nice. When you're in the down facing dog, press the ground away, find that V before you move over into the next one. Really good.
10 seconds.
Really, really good. You have 5 seconds left on the clock, and then we are into our last movement of this round.
Rest.
So we're going to come up to a standing position, taking the feet out just slightly wider than the hips, coming down into your garland pose. We're going to move through some frog squats. So hands go over the edges of the feet, and then you're lifting up, sending the hips back, straightening the legs, coming back down into that garland pose. So you're just gently mobilizing through the hamstrings and the hips and the knees. So just take your time. Inhale as you come down into that squat, lifting the chest through, and then press up and back. See if you can straighten those legs, point the hips high to the sky, fold the body over those legs. Inhale to come back up, chest is nice and high in that squat. Lovely. You've all got really good squats. If your heels don't touch the floor, just take it easy, that's fine. Work within your range of movement. Don't worry about anyone else's. You're over halfway. You've got just coming up to 10 seconds left on the clock. And then you've got a minute's rest ahead of you. So work all the way to the end of this round. Brilliant, lovely work. And rest. Grab a glass of water. You've got a whole minute's rest ahead of you. The next round is the strengthening round. So it's going to get progressively harder before we hit that cool down at the end. You're doing really well. So this is week 4. Next week, we turn it up a notch again, and it gets a little bit harder with the movements. So these options will always be available to you, whatever level you're at, but it will be a little bit more of a progressive kind of course. So the first movement of the next round is a simple plank walk. We're going to come down into our plank position. Option to drop the knees if you need to. You're simply going to find that nice plank position, tight hips, not piking, not sagging. And then you're just going to come down onto your elbows and then press back up, down onto your elbows and press back up. So you're just going to rotate your plank walks, alternating the arms that you press down and up with. So set yourself up on the mat in your planks, squeeze those hips, squeeze those glutes, keep them nice and tight. Lovely. Brilliant positions, guys. And just walk from one to the other. If you need to at halfway, just come back to child's pose to relax off the shoulders and then reset. You can. If you need to come down onto your knees, if you've been off your knees, you can. Just keep methodically moving, making sure that that bum doesn't start piking up. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze that core. Brilliant. You're over halfway. You've got just over 10 seconds left on the clock. And then we are coming down onto our tummies. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finding yourself in a prone position on the mat. Option 1, locust lift. Inhale, legs and chest off the floor. Exhale, release. Option 2, half bow. Taking one hand back to the same ankle. Inhale to lift and kick. Exhale, release. Or option 3, full bow. Taking both hands back to both ankles. Inhale to lift and kick. Hold. Pick your progression. Stick with it.
Let's go.
And then if you want to make it harder, you can always kick up as you inhale, hold for 3, 2, 1, and then exhale. Or you can try and hold the bow for the entire thing and maybe even add a rock to the movement as well. So pick your progression, make it your workout, make your body work. Really good. Just alternate between the two if you're doing the half bows.
10 seconds.
You've got 10 seconds left on the clock. This is a really good one, not only for your back core strength, but for opening your shoulders as well.
Rest.
The next one is tuck to boat. So you're coming into a seated position on your mat, toes lifted or toes on the floor. Arms can go in front of you or on the floor too. You're simply going to extend the legs into boat pose, crunch them back in. Option 2 is to extend single legs, or option 3, you can just do regular tuck crunches. Pick your progression and begin. So you can try and hold it if you want to, or you can go for that tuck crunch and try and get as many reps in. Just try not to let the lower back sink into the ground. Keep the chest nice and lifted in that pose. So it's a bit of a balance challenge as well.
Halfway there.
You're over halfway. Really good, guys. If you're finding those extensions easy as you tuck and crunch, maybe hold in that extended position for 3, 2, 1, and then crunch. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Next movement is a goddess squat to shoulder tap. So you're going to come down into this goddess position. Legs are wide. Knees are 90-90. You're going to take your hands to your knees and then take opposite shoulder to opposite knee as you reach over. So really focus on opening the hip, opening the shoulder, but also sinking low into that squat, engaging the glutes, engaging the inner thighs, pressing through the feet. So set yourself up, find that nice wide stance, sit back into that goddess squat. Keep that tailbone tucked under, don't let it tip out. Engage those glutes and then take that opposite shoulder to opposite knee, methodically working from side to side. You should feel this within your legs. They should be burning within 10 or 20 seconds.
Halfway there.
You're over halfway. And then you've just got one more movement left of this round before you can have a minute's rest. Really good. How low can you go, guys? Can you get any lower for the last few reps? Really press those feet into the floor, engage those legs. Really, really good. The last one of the round, we're going to come into our lizard lunge. So stepping one foot just behind the hand so that your elbow can go through, keeping the heart moving forwards and the eye gaze forwards. You're going to press as you lower the body to the floor. So the elbows are going to go out to the side, kind of like a half press up, keeping those toes glued to the floor. You're going to do half one side and then half the other side when it comes to half time. So set yourself up, find your lizard lunge position, send that elbow just in front of that shin, reach the heart forwards. Don't look down as you do this. Reach the heart forwards, send that knee out to the side and keep those toes glued. We're coming up to halfway, so just try and get a few more reps in and then step back, down facing dog, and step forwards with the other foot, switching sides. So again, sinking down into that press, keep that chest lifted, keep that eye gaze forwards. How low can you go? So it's a bit of mobilization, a bit of strength. Engage that back thigh, lift that back leg away from the floor. Lovely, and relax. You have a whole minute's worth of rest now before we move into our cardio round. So grab a bit of water. And then I will demonstrate the next movement. So again, we've got 5 movements. These ones are a bit more cardio intensive. We're coming into our plank position once again, and we're just simply doing a few plank jacks. So option to do this on your, like I'm doing, and you're just jumping in and out with the legs. Option to step in and out if you need to. An option, of course, to come and sit back, relax in child's pose halfway, and then reset and repeat. Just keep those hips nice and tight. Don't let them sag, don't let them pike. Keep that nice plank position. Engage that core, engage the glutes, engage the inner thighs. You have 3 seconds to go. So set yourself up, and when you're ready, begin. Nice work, guys. Really press the ground away with your arms. Engage that stomach. Really good. Nice work, Julie. Really good. Some of you are really going for it with the jumping. See if you can keep that up for the full 45 seconds.
Halfway there.
You're over halfway now, so keep going. You've got about 15 seconds left on the clock, so keep moving. Keep the pace. Try and keep consistent.
10 seconds.
And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come into jumping lunges. So you're going to find that nice high lunge position, tap the knee to the floor, and then you're going to switch as you jump from side to side. If you want, you can add cactus arms as you lower the knee, squeezing the shoulder blades and engaging the scapula at the same time. So you're just cactusing the arms out to the side. Set yourself up, find that jumping position, and of course, if you want to, you can just step forwards, step back with the cactus arms or without the cactus arms. Yogi's choice. Nice work, guys. Really brace yourself in those positions. Really use the legs, press through the ground with the feet so that you're controlling those legs as you do it. You're over halfway. If you need to step your feet together, shake it off, reset, feel free. And then we are coming back down to the floor. You have just coming up to 5 seconds left on the clock. See if you can get one more each side. And then when you're ready, rest. We're going to come down into our down dog facing position. And then we're going to come into some crisscross crunches. So you're going to bring opposite knee to opposite elbow, tap, and step back. If you want to make this harder, you can add a bit more pace to it. You can try and come up a little bit higher. You can, of course, just reduce it back to regular mountain climbers. Whatever you need to do, just move and breathe. Focus on squeezing that knee in towards the elbow when you bring it to the front. Try and keep the knee up as high off the floor as you can. So the lower you bring that leg through, the less work your upper body has to do. The higher, the more you're going to have to planche to keep that knee lifted and bringing it above the elbow. So try and get it as high to the elbow as you can. If that means you need to slow down to do it, then that's absolutely fine.
10 seconds.
You'll still get a really good workout, trust me. You have 5 seconds left on the clock. And then we are coming back up to our standing position. Well done, girls. So we're going to come down into our garland pose, finding yourself in the garland pose, and then you're going to jump, catch in chair, exhale, and catch in garland. So you're jumping from one to the other. If you want to, you can step in and step out, of course. So just take it easy. Set yourself up in that garland squat, and then jump, catch in chair. Really brace the core, bring those ribs down to meet the pelvis. Don't let that tailbone slip out behind you. Try and keep that chest nice and lifted. Obviously, the lower you can go in that chair, the harder your legs are going to work, and you kind of haven't got a choice but to go low in the garland. You are coming over halfway. Nice work. Really good, girls. Doing so well. Keep moving. You've just got one more movement and then you are done for the day and we are cooling down. So just keep going all the way to the end and relax. We're back to that final movement, the chaturanga. So option to do the full chaturanga, scooping the chest through the floor, coming all the way up to up dog. Option 2, come through to cobra. So scoop the chest to the floor, come to the floor, and then press up into cobra. Or option 3, you can just go for a body flow, dropping the hips, looking up towards the ceiling, and pressing back. So pick your level. In that cobra movement, if you're doing the full cobra, really focus in that chaturanga. Try and really focus on keeping chest, thighs, everything off the floor as you transition through, and really exaggerating that scoop and that bend in the spine as you dive bomb down and scoop back up. This is quite tough on the shoulders, quite tough on the arms, requires some mobility as well. Really good.
10 seconds.
Nice work. You've got 10 seconds left, so just see if you can do 1 or 2 more. Work all the way to the end. And relax. Well done, girls. You have completed the 3 rounds. So just come back, grab a glass of water, and then whenever you're ready, come to that extended child's pose on your mat, and we'll begin the cool down. You all did so well. It's quite tough, that last one on the arms. So from here, we're just going to come into our extended child's pose, forehead to the floor, reaching forwards with the arms, and take 3 deep breaths. Focus on expanding across that upper back as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just release and relax
the body into the ground. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then slowly come up onto all fours. You're going to take your left foot outside of your left hand, reach the heart forwards and pull back in the hips. So you should feel a stretch in that kind of thigh, hamstring and hip area. So you're kind of pulling back as you're reaching forward. So pulling back with the hips and reaching forwards with the chest. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to take left hand back to right foot, bringing that heel in towards the glute, maybe pulsing it a few times, and then holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Switch sides. So you're going to take the right foot outside of the right hand this time. Set yourself up in that low kind of half lunge position. Bring that hip back as you reach forwards with that heart. Feel that stretch down the outside of the thigh, into the hip and into your hamstring. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold for 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to reach back opposite hand to opposite foot. Bring that heel in towards the glute. Pulse it a few times. And then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. You're going to switch now onto your glutes or come into a seated position. Legs extended out in front of you. Pull the fleshy bits of your bum out from underneath your sit bones. Flex your toes back towards you. Inhale as you lift and lengthen, reaching up toward the hands, and then think about folding that belly over the thighs, bringing the chest towards thighs, head towards knees. 5 deep breaths. With every inhale, see if you can wiggle yourself a little bit longer, and with every exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then inhale as you come all the way up. Slide your bum down towards your heels. Come onto your backs. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Hug them with both arms. Rock from side to side. Massage your lower back. Then take your toes to the floor. Keep your heels lifted. Hands go wide. Palms facing down. Glue those shoulders to the floor. You're just going to drop the knees now from side to side for a few window wipers to finish. Opening up the hips, releasing off the lower back, and just in general feeling quite nice. One more rotation each side. And then just gently bring the knees back in towards the chest, hug them with both arms. And then whenever you're ready, roll all the way over onto the right side of the body, come all the way up to seated. And we'll take one final deep inhale as we lift our hands up above our head, palms together. As we exhale, bringing the hands to the forehead, kind thoughts. To the lips, kind words. To the heart, kind feelings. Namaste.